When you're a guy in this position, you have to really watch your back. You have to watch how you interact with people, how people interact with you. You have to watch all the little smirks, the little stares, the little eye movements people do, the little hesitation they do before they talk to you. You have to be very observant because that can literally save your life, especially when you're around like shady people or in shady areas. You see, people like us, a lot of us, people would say that we're autistic. We have certain type of ways about ourselves, like how we interact with people, whether we don't interact with people at all. And sometimes people with autism, or people with, with like very sensitive emotions, or they can sense people's intentions, is what I'm trying to say. Like people can, like a lot of us in this position, we can sense when somebody's being nice towards us or when somebody's kind of being mean towards us. A lot of the times it's blatant, but a lot of the times it's low key as well. You know, it's like, especially as you get older and you don't really accomplish much things in life, like let's say if you live at home with your parents, when you were younger, your parents would like talk to you. They'll knock on your door and tell you dinner's ready. You know, they'll be much more, close to you, much more affectionate. But as you get older and you don't have nothing to value or whatever, and you kind of just get lost in this, evil sauce. Then your parents kind of become more distant. It's kind of just you got to pay rent here, or you got to do this, or not, you're going to get kicked out or whatever. And then you kind of just, the world becomes more colder as a guy in this position. And you got to notice certain signs. You got to notice that every time when you're in certain friend groups, certain people make comments about your shoes, or they make comments about your style, or they make comments about you. And you got to know how to isolate yourself. So many people I've heard, guys in this position where they try to play the oofy doofy, they try to be the jester. And if you try to be the jester, like it always backfires because people look at you as a joke. They don't take you serious. And one thing about me, I may be a poor man, I may be a little bit crazy, and I may be a schizophrenic, and I may be homeless, but if somebody, comes at me direct, with disrespect, it's very hard for me not to react, right? And a lot of the times people do that intentionally. They know guys like us are isolated and they know that we're devastated with all type of emotional vortexes. So they try to get us to react so that they'll have an excuse to, kick us out, or have an excuse to harass us. And then they'll play the victim after they created the ember and sparked the flame. Then they'll play like it's just a game or whatever. So as a guy in this position, you have to watch everything around you. Hell, you have to watch your own brother. You got to watch your own sister. You got to watch your dad, your mother, your auntie. You got to watch everybody, even your grandparents. You got to watch everybody and see how they treat you, right? Because then I'll tell you, okay, well, everywhere I go, I keep getting humiliated. I keep getting picked on. I keep getting targeted. So maybe if it's just best if I just don't go anywhere. And then when you try to isolate yourself, this life always pulls you back in and says, no, 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 no. You're not going to try to be a neat and actually try to enjoy your life and think you're going to step away from this illusion energy of harvesting. No, you're going to go to that 9 to 5 that you despise. You're going to be around the coworkers who talk about you. You're going to be around that pain and that agony. You're going to be forced to be around people who don't like you and you don't like them. You're going to be forced to interact with them. And you're going to do this like at a circus show for a couple of dollars. And you're going to do that for the rest of your life. And it's like whenever you have your own type of mind activation in this world, like whenever you think that you can try to create something and become independent away from the system makes it so difficult. It's so easy to be trapped into the system. Just be born. As soon as you're born, they give you your social security. You know, like your social security number is like as soon as you're born, it just pretty much creates like a product or whatever. That's pretty much what it is. And in this world, you're going to be treated like a product. You're going to be treated like a machine. So to try to make our lives a little bit easier, I think guys like us need to pay attention. And here are some of the signs of like people who you shouldn't have around you. And sign number one is if that person's always trying to compare, they're always trying to compete. Like let's say you go to the damn store and let's say you go to McDonald's and you get a large, you know, and that person gets mad because you got a large, and then and they get a large too, and then they copy exactly what you get, but this time they get an extra Big Mac or something like that, or they get an extra shake or something like that, trying to compete with you. You know, you got to get away from people like that who every single time you're just trying to do anything, they're always trying to compete with you. They're trying to see what you're doing. They're spying on you. They're listening to what you're saying, try to get any useful information out of you. Like, if you're ever crying, if you're ever sad or depressed, and you kind of like spill your beans to them, you know, you spill your heart out to those people, they'll take it and use it against you like a dagger to the neck, right? They'll use it against you. So you gotta watch out for people like that. You have to. People that are always trying to compete with you. You have to watch out for that, because if somebody's trying to compete with you, they're not trying to help build you up, or they're not trying to build nothing themselves. When somebody's always comparing, you know, their failures to your successes, or your failures to their successes, that's not somebody who wants to see you win. And that's somebody who's trying to sabotage you, and somebody that's not even secure with their own self. So you gotta stay away from people like that, you know? And I would say the second thing to watch out for is people that always gossip, you know, people that's always gossiping about other people. You got to stay away from somebody like that. Whenever you're around somebody and their main content is just gossiping about other people to you, that means they're gossiping to you about other people as well. Whenever they're always talking about somebody. They're always talking about how somebody looks, how somebody's overweight. They're always talking about this. They're always talking about that. They always talk, and like a lot of these people be church people. A lot of these people go to church and stuff, and they be some of the most biggest gossipers and some of the most worst, hideous people doing evil things in the dark. You know what I mean? They do evil things in the darkness and then try to hide in the light. You gotta watch out for bastards like that. You can't show them no type of um restitution. People like that, bro, you just gotta just distance yourself and just, it's better to be alone than be around somebody like that, right? People always talking about people, always making jokes, always talking about this, and then usually it's always about somebody's looks or them being broke. And then a lot of people that are talking this crap, they're insecure their damn selves. They're not strong, you know, at all. They're really not, right? And I would say for guys like in our position, the third thing you got to watch out for is watch out for people that try to befriend you for the wrong reasons, you know. And what I mean is, like, you may be in class and you see like a girl, and like, let's say you do her homework occasionally or whatever, and you think that, you know, you're friends or something with her, but she's not your friend. She just allows you to do her homework or whatever from time to time or whatever. And when you see her out and about and say hi to her, she ignores you, you know. But you, in your mind, you think that that's your friend. That's not your friend. And even other, you know, even I struggle with this. Like when I was kind of like the cush plug or whatever, you can call it that in a way. But, you know, but I had a lot of kush, you know, when I was in Cali. Is like everybody wanted to be my friend because they know they come over and get smoked out. And if I got any food, I'm willing to share. You know, like, I was the type of guy that if, like, let's say a couple of friends come over, we start smoking, and let's say they invited a couple more people, I'm the type of guy that, hey, I order some pizza. I order some pizza, some soda, you know, out of my own little money, which I didn't have, and nobody would pay anything, and I'll just have like a little cool little kickback with pizza, soda, you know, more kush, you know. But yet that was never returned. Like when people had their money up, and when they were in better positions than me, they never returned the favor. They looked at me like nothing. They attacked me. They targeted me. They marked me. They scarred me. They harmed me. They haunted me. They destroyed me. They tormented my mind and claimed to be friends. And this is something that's going to live with you forever. So it's best, if you're a young man, you got to watch your circle. You know, and here's some positive things to look for. You know, for guys like us in this position. If somebody who's around you wants to see you win genuinely, even if your music sucks, even if your YouTube channel sucks, even if your video quality sucks or whatever, your YouTube is not the best, but they see that you're putting your heart, you're putting your soul into it, and you're trying your best, and they're there to support you, and they can see the vision that you're trying to create. They can see what you're trying to make, like whatever you're trying to make and manifest, they can see it, and they're there to support you. And you can see the genuine smile in their face. It's no fake-ish. You can feel the energy around them, that the energy is positive. You want to be around people like that, people that want to support your dreams and ambitions, people that make you feel inspired. These are the type of people that we have to be around. But a lot of guys like us, because of how we look like, you know, it's very difficult to get real people around us because we don't look the best. And that's the brutal thing, you know? That's like a brutal thing. And I would say another good thing to look out for, like for guys in our position, is somebody who you can talk to, somebody who can understand the system. You don't want to be around normies who have a normie mindset. Oh, the system's fair. The system, life's what you make it. You don't want to be around people like that. You want to be around people that are realistic, people that see the doom and the gloom of life, people that they just can't get it right no matter how hard they try. People like that, because these are the people that see life for what it is. These are the people that life is targeting. These are the people that know the real truth. It's not Becky and Stacy in multi-million-dollar mansions. They don't know what struggle is. They don't know what pain is. They don't know how it feels like to be homeless in your 30s with nothing, not even a driver's license or no woman to talk to, losing your mind. You know, making videos so you don't snap. They don't know what pain is, you know. But you want to be with, but you want to surround but you want to surround yourself with people that kind of think like you. Like, I know in my heart of hearts that Gnosticism may not be the 100% truth, but it's the closest thing to the truth we got. The God of this world is an evil bastard, and he gets off to us being in emotional, physical, and spiritual pain. And he actually feeds off of that. He feeds off of our negative energetic manifestational frequency. Our negative energetic manifestational frequency. It's our loosh, because God feeds off our negative emotions. And I've seen enough evidence in my own life to know that this is true. I've been attacked. Do you want to know why? Ever since, when I got doxxed and all that crap happened and all that, that was like on my last channel. That's when I was talking about, the demiurge. I was going heavy. I was going heavy in that demiurge thing, revealing it, and then that just happens, accidentally. Like, come on, I don't believe in coincidences. Everything happens for a reason. And you want to be around people that you can talk about the secrets of the world. You can talk about the elite. You can talk about how you've been screwed up in life. You don't want to be around like when you're somebody that's considered a quote unquote loser or somebody like that. You don't want to be around people that are extremely successful and they're braggarts, meaning that they're bragging in your face. If you're going to get around somebody successful, it's going to be somebody successful that wants to help you, that wants, like a millionaire that takes you under their wing and they want to see you succeed, which is extremely rare. It's only if like the damn demiurge, destines it. But like that. And I would say another thing to look out for, like a good thing to look out for, is be around people who are not going to change just because women are around. So many times I've seen guys who they would just change how they are. As soon as a woman walks into the room, hell, on Xbox Live, we're playing Xbox, and as soon as you hear that it's a girl's voice or a woman's voice or whatever, everybody changes in the damn chat room. Everybody starts acting weird. People start betraying each other, and it's like, bro, it's just a girl. What are you guys like, bro? Let's just keep playing Call of Duty. Let's just keep playing, Gears of War, or whatever game we're playing. Let's just keep playing. Why is everybody got to act different? And I remember there was this one guy at my Xbox Live party who he would like roast a girl sometimes. Like whenever the girls would come on, he would still be himself. Like he was still like the same jokes he would tell. Like he didn't switch up, he didn't change up. He was just himself. And then I noticed that a lot of the girls, a lot of the time, they wanted to talk to him more than the guys that were simping. Right? And he barely talked to him like that. Like, he didn't even acknowledge him like that. He treated them like whatever. And I was like, wow, And you want to be around people that are not trying to destroy you. And I know a lot of us, we grew up in certain situations where it felt like we were being targeted, like we were being like assaulted for destruction from multiple angles in the life. Your family life wasn't right. Your mind wasn't right. You may have had your grind tight. You may have had your ambition and your dreams set, but the world didn't care about that. The world doesn't care about anything like that. The world only cares about what you can produce and how can you benefit everybody else, especially as a man in this position. You have to really watch your back, man, because we live in a world that is filled with predators, meaning people that will see somebody that's already weak in a bad position, and they'll attack that person relentlessly, mercilessly. They'll purposely go after somebody that's weak and purposely ignore somebody that's strong and that can defend themselves. And it's in nature. You can see it in nature. You can see like a tuna fish, get eaten in half by a shark, and it's still alive, barely. And then a shark comes and just finishes it off. And it's just like, wow, it's no mercy at all. It's either eat or be eaten out there in the world. And that's how it is when it comes to the financial system. This whole system's corrupted because of greed and evil, and because it's not even ran by humans. The world is not ran by humans. Okay? That's why things seem It's like that's why it seems like why is all this bad stuff happening? Why is the banking system like that? Why is it this? Like it's just so anti-human. It's so draconian. It's in the name, draconian, dragon, the demiurge. You know, it's draconian because it's trying to keep our divine spark weak. It's trying to break our divine spark. It's trying to rip out our heart and destroy our souls. You are a human spirit, damn it. You're supposed to create things. You're not supposed to be some corporate machine. You're more than that. You're better than that. You're greater than that. You are not a corporate machine. You're somebody that's been through extreme hell in life, and you need love. You need help. You need somebody to throw you a bone, but no one's going to come save you because you're a man. And you're somebody that's not valued, somebody that the world doesn't give a damn about, somebody they'll throw to the flames and let burn, and then say it's your fault that you're burning and feeling the pain. This is ridiculous, and we have to deal with this every single day. Every day we have to deal with the complications of being in a situation like this. Lonely, isolated, devastated, drowning in your own thoughts of sorrow, fearing tomorrow, fearing the degradation of the mind, the degradation of the soul. It's a crime, damn it. It's a spiritual crime to be in this position. Seeing everybody around you, you know, that you ever known become successful. You know, there's people that I've known, you know, like in high school that they made it in the music industry. You know, there's a rapper that I said, I'm not gonna say his name now, but I said it before on my old channel. I think I said it on this channel in a few videos. There's a person that made it, you know, that I went to high school with. He became pretty much, you know, not the most famous rapper, but he became famous enough to make a couple of $100,000. And here I am making YouTube videos, you know, with nothing, right? In pain and agony and insanity, hearing voices in my head. I'm going crazy. I'm going crazy, and they're calling me lazy. I'm going crazy as the world is calling me lazy, right? I'm losing my mind. I'm losing my thoughts. I'm losing my time. I'm losing it all. And bad enough I'm old. I'm not 25. I'm not 20 years old. I'm not a youngster. I'm an old man. My soul is destroyed because I couldn't make it in what I wanted to make it in. God damn it. Fuck this world. And fuck anybody who doesn't understand my pain and my agony. A lot of people will tease you. They'll laugh at you. They'll destroy you. They'll kick you when you're down. And then expect you to rise up like a phoenix and be perfect. How can you be perfect on the surface when there's things inside of your heart that make you nervous and you're filled with these curses? I'm sick of this world, and I'm sick of the people that take advantage of people in our position. I want to start my own colony of the rejected men excess men who can't fit in society, the ones who can't find wives, the ones who can't find jobs, the ones who are considered losers and failures by their family, by their social circle, by everybody around them who look down upon them. But these people had secret talents and secret ambitions and secret attributes and secret truths that they know, yet they didn't have a chance to really succeed. And I want to build a colony where all those people can come together and build something great. I'm not too big on revenge unless it's a demiurge, but when somebody does you wrong, they do you wrong. And they did you wrong on purpose. It wasn't an accident. They did it on purpose. Guys like us, we got to stop being so forgiving as well, because people will want to be forgiven by us whenever they make 1,000 mistakes. But if we make one mistake, we'll never be forgiven. You make one mistake in life, you do one thing, and if you're a guy in this position, no one's going to forgive you. They're going to try to terminate you. They're going to try to neutralize you. They're going to try to exterminate you. They're not going to lend out a helping hand. They're going to attack you and blame you. We live in a gaslighting world. And what sucks is as you get older as a man, bro, I'm not going to front, bro. I seen some of these guys with like a wife and children, and I was like, damn, I want that. And I know damn well it's a demiurge trap. I know it's a damn trap to get married to a Western female, because it's like getting married to a Western brothel. You know, honestly. You know, that's how it is now. Then having kids with a woman, if she can take half of your stuff, even if you don't even have nothing, she's going to take half of your paycheck wherever you're going to be working at. So, you know, and then marriage ain't guaranteed happiness either. It's guaranteed headaches, right? But then when I see certain men, you know, they take those family photos at Disneyland with like the, you know, you see the husband, the wife, the children, they're all wearing like the same, like Mickey Mouse hat, and they're wearing the same type of clothes and all that, and they're smiling, and they buy the water ride, and it's like, wow, I want to experience that. I want to experience how it feels like to be a father. and to have a wife and to be married and have children and all that, and take them to their first baseball game, and you know, take my like see my son go to his proms. I didn't go to mine. Like those experiences are not for guys like us. Like we're not meant to be fathers, bro. Like we're meant to be losers. It seems like this life, like it picks winners. And it's like we're meant to be in a position of poverty. We're meant to be in a position of struggle. Like we're meant to be trapped in this torment bubble. We're meant for this. And there's nothing we can do about it. We can try to complain. We can try to go insane. We can try to fight back. But life is going to show you who's the boss. When it's your 10th time asking that girl out and she said no, and then she blocks you, right? You know, how do I even should say this? But because this is right. But I might as well. Fuck it. You know what I mean? Like I'm raw. And I'm raw on this channel. But there was a girl I went to high school with, and she was like a year older than me. And me and the homie on the football team, we pretty much like liked her and had a crush on her, right? So at the time, even though I was on the football team, I was still kind of nervous or whatever. And one of the other homies happened to date like one of her best friends or whatever. So long story short, like we set it up so we can kick it or whatever. And that whole time I didn't say anything. Like the girl was just kind of there looking at me, like expecting me to say something. Like we talked for like a little bit, but then it got quiet. I didn't know what to say. They started looking at their phones, and it was just an embarrassing time, right? And moments like those you remember. And you may think, oh, that's nothing, man. That's just basic human nature. Like, you're not experienced with that female, so you didn't know what to say. So you just sat there and looked stupid. But when you do that in front of females, it lowers, like, your, like women think something's wrong with you if you don't talk. That's one thing you have to know as a guy in our position. We're so used to being alone, watching anime and wanking off in our rooms and playing video games or whatever, but we don't understand that when we're quiet around certain people, they think that's weird. And a lot of us do understand that. Some of us understand that. We know, like, we want to talk, we want to be social, but we've been through so much hell in life that it makes it, like, damn near impossible to be social, right? But, yeah, so yeah, man. Yeah, and that girl was like, and every time I would see that girl, I wouldn't say anything like to her at all, even though we just like kicked it at that little kickback, a little event that the homie set up, because he was dating her best friend pretty much, and it was weird because I didn't know what to say. I literally didn't know what to say. And I have many stories, even way worse than that, where I've been in situations where we're at a kickback and I see like pretty girls and I kind of freeze up. Like I don't know what to say. Like I don't know what to talk about. Should I talk about the weather, talk about the football game, talk about what they like to eat? Like I just don't know because I haven't had I haven't had those connections that were necessary when I was younger to have the experience. That's why Chad and Tyrone could be in that exact same situation and have all four girls, all five girls, all 10 girls, all two girls. Like he could have every girl in that room on their knees, begging to please. First of all, it's because how he looks like. Point blank period, because when you look a certain way you can talk about anything and the girls will laugh and be into it, but when you don't look a certain way, when you're unattractive, you have to have a little, like you have to say certain things that are interesting. But even then, like your face is what's interesting. If the girl's not interested in you, if she's not interested in your face, if the girl doesn't think you're attractive, then there's nothing you can say that's going to make her interested in you. You're just not attractive to her. Simple as that. And a lot of blue pill normies, they try to dispute that, and they're just fools when they try to dispute the truth, right? Like you can try to hold your breath underwater if you want, but eventually you're gonna open up, and then you're gonna you're gonna get drowned, right? But yeah, man, I don't know, man. I still think about moments like that, like whenever I was in little friend groups and like there was females around. Earlier I talked about how not to change in front of females, but sometimes. And also it does depend how inebriated I am as well. Like if I'm super high and I'm around females, then I become like more talkative. But if I'm more sober minded, that's when that's when it's probably not the best, or it's weird. It's hard to explain, but those are some of the most embarrassing moments, is doing something foolish in front of females, doing something that's embarrassing in front of girls, because women, they pick up on shit quick. A woman can analyze shit quick, like very quickly. They can analyze certain shit. They can they smell something that's wrong about you. They smell if you can smell if your breath stink. They can smell if your feet stink. They can see if your shoes are new. They can tell they can tell when's the last time you had some coochie and some booty, because just by how you lift your shoulders, how the glimmer in your eye, like they know shit like that. Shit that most men don't even pay attention to. These women know. So that's why when they see Chad and Tyrone, they know that that guy's getting laid, and they know that they want to be next on that carousel. you know, and a lot of times they are. There's so many good men in this world that's been destroyed because they haven't had the right guidance. And how can you get guidance when the guidance is not provided? When the only thing provided is how to be a blue pill normie, how to succumb to a system that's designed to break you down, that's designed to destroy you. What are you supposed to do when you have nothing? What are you supposed to do when all you wanted was to succeed, and yet life showed you time and again that success wasn't meant for you, it was meant for other people? And then you want to get mad at you and pick a bone with you because all you want to do is just be successful. That's it. You just want to be successful. You're tired of being in a position of poverty. You're tired of being in a position where you feel like you can't just win. You can't do what you want to do. Like, life is already hard enough, man. And it's even harder when you're forced to do crap that it doesn't align with your soul. It doesn't align with your spirit, but you have to do it because if you don't, you're going to be in poverty. And nobody wants to be in poverty. And nobody wants to keep living a lonely life as well. When you start thinking about all those memories you had that made you into what you are today, a lot of those memories you had were negative. Because if you had more positive experiences, you probably wouldn't be watching this video. You probably wouldn't be in a situation that you're in right now. That's a horrible situation. My situation, I don't wish it on anybody but my worst enemies. You know, Point blank, period. Because it's not good to be a man with no type of money. Because without money, you have no power. You know, and you know, I just want to start developing. I know my rap career is like it's been on hold for a while, but I want to start getting better equipment and start releasing real songs, and maybe hopefully, if I make a good enough song that's hard and that's good, I could probably do some collabs with DBDR. You know, that'd be a cool little thing to do and get DBDR on a track. But I gotta have my quality on point. Right now, being homeless is kind of hard. Recording tracks, so I have to wait till I get more settled. But I definitely want to try to do a song with DBDR. That'd be cool. I think. Because I feel like people like us who have talent in this position, we should try to work together. Like, why not? Like, what's the worst that can happen? Like, why not just try to work together, try to build together? Why not? You know, because there's millions of what's crazy. There's millions of men that feel like this, like that feel what I'm saying, but YouTube will only allow a few hundred. It'll only show a few hundred, even though on this platform, it's probably like if this platform was fair, I probably have maybe 1 million subscribers of people listening to what I'm saying about the demiurge, listening how this life is crap and it's rigged. There's millions of people. Like I've seen YouTube channels, with millions of subscribers, and I see people who agree, but they agree to a point, you know. There's still that blue pill stuff in it, like the raw truth. They don't like. They don't want to give people the raw truth. They like they want to give you like a spoon, like some truth, but mixed with mostly lie. That's how this world's designed, brother. You know, and it's very difficult being a guy in this position, man. Like, goddamn, man. Every day I'm in mental torment. Every day I'm in hell. You know, like every day, like there's always something. Like there's always some stress, there's always some pressures, like time's running out, time's running out, time's running out, time's running out. And it's like, well, fuck, time already ran out for me. I'm already old, and then like YouTube takes a long time to build on YouTube. Like people think, oh, because you get monetized, you instantly get millions of dollars. It doesn't work that way. You have to create brand new videos. I mean, you have to create thousands and hundreds of videos before you start seeing a real type of penny, And it's not even guaranteed because how the site's set up. You can be attacked at any time, right? So we have to find other ways of digital assets that appreciate and value in life. Like we have to find what makes us happy, what defines our soul, because that's the only way we're going to survive in this hell realm. Because I know a lot of us, bro, we would do anything to escape this hell realm. It's no point being in a world where you're not appreciated. Everybody looks at you like you're the problem. They treat you like you're the problem. They don't offer no type of help. They don't give a damn about you. The world is just fickle. I don't even know how this world lasted this long. And I was watching like in Iran, it was showing some like Iranian women that were celebrating the fall of their dictator or whoever. And I'm just thinking, these women just can't wait for European Chad to come. They can't wait for Chad. They can't wait for Chad. Because some of those Iranian women, I'm like, damn, those Persian women are fire. They're beautiful. I'm like, that's a Persian girl. She like a Latina. And damn, she's sexy. Like that's a beautiful girl. You know, I know for a fact that they probably don't like people of my skin color configuration. Even though if you look at the history of Persia, you'll see some. You see certain things going on in that area involving people that kind of have a certain skin color configuration. I got to speak in code. You know how YouTube is. But yeah, man, those Persian girls are like cheering for like the people that are destroying their homes, and it's just like even any ancient battle. The men, they go to war on the battlefield. They slay the fathers, the uncles, the grandfathers, the husbands, the fiancés, the brothers of the girls inside the city, inside the castle walls. Then after that, they break through the castle walls and they go through the castle halls, and then they get into some castle draws. You know what I mean? That's the best way I can put it. And then, certain babies are born, and certain, like Genghis Khan was notorious for this. The Great Khan, whenever he conquered a land, he would literally have his troops engage in sexual alleviation with the native female population, right? And of course it wasn't. Of course it was against their will, right? Because this is the ancient world. They didn't give a damn in those days, and there was no moral police in those days. It was just the man who had the power, the man who controlled the army could do whatever the hell he wanted, and nobody could say a thing. But whenever you have women just opening their arms to the victors like that, that shows you that these women only respect power. If you're not attractive, then the next thing they have to respect is your power, right? But to be powerful and attractive, that's the ultimate formula. That's like somebody who has it all. And that's very rare for people in our position, right? But it goes to show you those girls are just waiting for Chad. And since they live in a religious society, those girls had to just limit their options to whoever they were forced to be around. But now those girls are going to get a taste of quote unquote democracy. And they're going to learn how it feels like to live like a Western woman. And once they get a taste of having multiple men, having boyfriends, fiancés, and once they feel the power that women have, they're not going to go back. And then it's just going to turn to like a Chad. It's going to turn to a Chad, Thailand again. Or people are going to be successful in Iran will be the Chads. They're going to go there and get all the beautiful Iranian girls. Meanwhile, everybody else is just, stuck with nothing as usual. It's brutal. But you have to understand, man, that women don't have to be loyal like how they had to be back in the day. Like 100 years ago, like being loyal to one's demographic was very important, which is why Europeans, they did not like people of certain skin color configurations being able to reproduce with people that look like them. They didn't really, they didn't like that at all, And now 100 years later, they still don't like it at all. But now it has to be a little bit more low key. It can't be out like how it was back in the days where you could just go up to somebody and call them a bad word or an inflammatory, derogatory word, right? Even though people still do it, let's be real, I've been a black man for 35 years, bro. You can't tell me that certain isms don't exist when I have to experience every single day, which helps and adds to my psychological dysfunctionality. If I could pick anything else, I guarantee you I wouldn't pick anything that makes me have more stress, that makes me have more pain, that makes me have more agony. This world is absolutely brutal, brother. And I wish for guys like us in this position to make it. I wish that we can have everything that we ever dreamed. I wish that we can have the money, the fame, the fortune, the cars, the clothes, the women, the glory, the everything that we dreamed of, man. Like, why can we not have the things that we always wanted? Meanwhile, there's people out there that get anything they want. They can just close their eyes and literally imagine it, and it literally appears. That's what it feels like for certain people. Chad and Tyrone, they can just go on their phone, look at a beautiful woman, a woman that'll be the girl of your dreams, a woman that you would want to marry. They'll look at her and then have her for a fling, and have her bring the kush, have her bring some food from Jack in the Box, have her pay for it, and then he hit it from the back, make that nanny smack, and then and then he's good, right? He can get what he wants. But guys like us, we have to freaking, you know, watch adult entertainment, and sometimes that doesn't even get your fix because you miss that intimacy. So like you buy other freaking adult things, the fleshlights, things of that nature, and you still don't feel no real alleviation. Like it feels good physically, but then you don't feel that emotional alleviation. You need both the physical alleviation, the emotional alleviation, and spiritual alleviation. You need to have those things working in unison, working in a combination that can make you feel good, man. Otherwise, you're going to be trapped in this hell realm and trapped in this wicked, sadistic, twisted planet. A planet that's designed to break you, a planet that's designed to destroy you. Not a planet that wants to see you successful, a planet that wants to see you broken. Like, why do we have to be broken in order to be strong? That's one thing I never agree with the Bible. It's like, why would a God create things that have to be strengthened? Wouldn't you create perfection from the beginning? This doesn't make any sense to me. It's like there's something we're missing, something we're not being told. Like we're not being told the whole story about the creation of existence. There's things that are being hidden from us. And I like to believe it's because a lot of humans are powerful. A lot of humans have secret powers that are untapped. This is why they put this stuff in the toothpaste in the water. They calcify your pineal gland, your spiritual gland. That's supposed to help you do spiritual things, move objects with your mind, predict the future. Do elemental changes like the damn Avatar. I believe there's some truth to all of that. And I believe that there's people that don't want us to know that at all. They'll do it. They'll do whatever it takes to make sure that we'll never become powerful. Remember the Bible in the Tower of Babel, when God said, if these people can, Yahweh, the God of the Bible, said these people can come together and they can build this. If they put their minds together, there's nothing that they can't do. The God of this world, the Christian Bible said, if we came together and put our minds together, there's nothing that we couldn't do. Nothing that we couldn't do. That means we could become gods if we wanted. That means we can become powerful if we wanted. That means we can create a society that doesn't require money and poverty if we wanted. That means we can create life technology and make us live forever, or at least live 1,000 years or whatever if we wanted. It can heal. It can heal on a molecular level. It can take away cellular disintegration, so your cells won't disintegrate and pass away every year. It can slow down aging. It can do whatever. Like humans can if they put their mind together, they can do anything. But yet we have these nefarious forces in the shadows that make sure that we're always under attack, that make sure that we're always fighting each other, that make sure that people like us exist. People who don't fit into the system and they feed off our negative energetic manifestational frequency are loose. And I'm tired of being loose. I'm tired of having my divine light fed off of by these invisible entities that are enemies to humanity. I'm tired of it. And I'm not going to put up with it much longer, bro. This is why I'm making a new genre of music. I'm calling it Gnostic rap. And I'm going to have Gnostic rock. I'm going to do rock and roll rap. I'm going to do all of it. Shit. And whatever. I'm going to express myself in many ways. Shit. Not just in hip hop. I do Gnostic poetry. I'd make a Gnostic anime, whatever it is. I'm trying to spread this. I'm trying to spread like what I feel like or what I know is the truth, not what I feel like. I don't go off my feelings. I go off what I see. And sometimes your feelings, you have to go off of that as well. But it's not just pure feelings like how it is for people in Christianity who just believe earnestly in Jesus, and yet they're the most poorest people suffering the most. When you've been suffering for 35, 40 years, 50 years, believing in Jesus, and Jesus hasn't done nothing for your life, maybe Jesus just doesn't love you. Maybe Jesus just doesn't care about you, because there's people that Jesus does care about because they become multimillionaires in their early 20s. They get everything in life that they wanted, and they get it fast. They don't get it in 1,000 years. They don't have to work hard for it. You know what I mean? Working hard is that's what the elites say to the sheeple, because the elites don't work hard. They don't wake up every day and work 8 hours. They own assets. They own the banking system. They own Hollywood. They own the military industrial complex. They own these things, meaning that it belongs to them, meaning that they don't see money the same way that you see money. You see money as survival. They see money as a tool for power and control. It's a totally different mindset. You know, when you're in the jungle, the way the tiger looks at the jungle and the way that a gazelle or a deer looks at the jungle is totally different. The tiger looks at the jungle like his playground, like he's the ruler, he's the master. He's going to take on any other body, or he will take on anybody inside of his land. He's going to take on any other, mercenaries. He's going to take on any other warriors. He's going to take on any other tigers. While the deer looks at it as like it's a homicidal trap. They step in the water, there's a crocodile. They look in the air, there's a bird. There's a snake that's 200 foot long, from the Congo that's slithering around, devouring boats and people inside of it. There's dinosaurs from the inner earth coming through an interdimensional portal, right? You know, we live in a world of mysteries and secrets, in a world that's led by envoys of demons.